All right. Shalom. 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 I'm the priest Wild from the GMS South Carolina Midlands camp. Coming back with another lesson through the spirit and through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. Call Halo Yamla Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Secondly, of course, I want to give double honors to my apostles and to my elders, to the bishops of Great Millstone who rule well, which taught me this truth, who are the true leaders of Israel today. And also peace, love, blessings, and salutations to the elect. All right, shalom. Shalom to the few sisters, the Akwaf, that listen and follow this truth in silence and sincerity. Shalom to you sisters, to you Akwaf, and also shalom to the Israelite foreigners who may not look like your typical Israelite, but spiritually, their line goes back to being an Hebrew Israelite, man. All right, shalom. And I'm going to jump right into it, man. Right? 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, right, is taking place. 2024 is underway. Okay, and this devil is up to something, man. Okay, I got a couple of articles that I want to go into. And pretty much, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is already setting the tone for 2024. Through the Spirit, brothers, before 2024 came in, brothers have been saying, beginning with the apostles and the elders on down, brothers have been saying that 2024 is going to be a heavy year, life-changing year. And, ultimately, what does that mean? We're one step closer to the return of our Lord. We're one step closer to getting the hell up out of Babylon the Great. We're one step closer to seeing Babylon get destroyed. Okay? So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into it. So this first article is from the Newsweek. It says, New York buildings shake as multiple explosions reported. Okay. Firefighters in New York City are responding to reports of explosions on Roosevelt Island. The New York City Fire Department told Newsweek that it responded to 580 Main Street, south of the Roosevelt Island Bridge and tram, after receiving reports of explosions and buildings shaking just before 6 a.m. local time on Tuesday. The situation was under control by around 7:10 a.m., the fire department said. Residents in the Manhattan and Queens boroughs of the city had called to report what they said sounded like small explosions, NBC New York reported. Some took to social media to report that they had felt buildings shake on Tuesday morning. And right here, they got a picture. It says a cable car transport passengers to Roosevelt Island in New York. Well, that's old. It says New Yorkers reported small explosions on the island on January the 2nd. Right, so this is the area where they said the explosions were reported. Okay. For brothers that live in that area, me personally, I've never been to New York. So brothers that live in this area that are familiar with this area, they pretty much know the area, of course, better than I do. But from the picture that they're showing, this is the area that they're saying the explosions took place. It says, there were 3 instances of a boom and a shake. The last one felt further away, a Roosevelt Island resident wrote on X, formerly Twitter. I live in Manhattan and felt my building shake on 66th and 1st, another person wrote on the platform. And you got to pay attention to the numerology that these devils like to use, okay? Because ultimately, the point that I'm attempting to drive home in this video is Esau, the devil, is definitely setting the stage for a major false flag. Okay, possibly a terror attack, a terrorist attack, potentially an EMP strike, and it can happen any second. Okay, because like I said, we are officially underway in 2024. 2024 is in full effect. Okay. So that means we got to make sure that we're on point. We got to make sure that we are praying to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because all hell is getting ready to break loose, man. Okay. Another person said they felt the shake in the Upper East Side neighborhood of Manhattan, almost like a blast wave moving from the east to west, hearing hovering helicopters the past 20 minutes or so, they wrote on X. There were power outages on Roosevelt Island, according to ABC 7, you see? Power outages, man. And then you can't forget, they just had that movie, Leave the World Behind. They got that movie coming out, Civil War. Okay, so ultimately Esau is setting the stage, but ultimately it's Yahweh Shem Yahushai that's working through Esau. Okay? Because Yahweh Shem Yahushai is not playing around. Okay? The Lord sent his prophets out on the highways and byways for a reason. And what is it that the prophets have been prophesying? Let's grab this real quick. Pretty much, basic scripture, which none of the scriptures are basic, but, this is like some of the scriptures that we learned when we first come into it. And for any, new brothers that may be coming into this truth, maybe just coming across the Hebrew Israelites, some of you few sisters as well, these are some of the scriptures that we learned when we first, began to learn about this truth. And mainly I'm speaking to the men. Okay. Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied, both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's what the prophets are doing today, in today's time, playing out in real time, right? You see the men of the Lord, you see us going out in the highways and byways, and we tell you about how Babylon the Great, America, is getting ready to be destroyed. Is not America a great kingdom? Okay, one of the greatest kingdoms of wickedness to ever be established on the planet Earth. And the Lord is getting ready to take it down. He's going to take it down in a very violent way. That's why it says we prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war. War is coming to Babylon the Great. And it's ultimately going to be an inside job. It says, and of evil and of pestilence. When you go into the word evil and you break it down, it means bad times. We're coming into the time of trouble. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the Lord put the spirit on Elder Apostle Tahar to deem this year the hopeful year of Jacob's troubling times, man. And it's going to mainly affect you so-called Negroes, you so-called Latinos, you so-called Native Americans, and you so-called Hispanics, the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. It says, and of pestilence, right? They're already talking about, putting the mandates back for the Jim Carrey. Okay, if you don't know what that's code for, speaking about the masks, they're already speaking about mask mandates. Okay, they're saying that it's a new strain of the sickness of the 2020, surfacing once again. Okay, so lockdowns is getting ready to take place. So it's about to be absolute chaos. Okay, a lot of civil unrest. I saw this video. I believe it was from the brother Yashalam. I believe his channel is GMS Watchman. I believe the video was on his channel where it had this Edomite pretty much talking about preparing for civil war. Okay, and that's the mindset. That's the mind state of these Edomites, man. They're ready to take matters into their own hands. Okay, and that leads me to real quick, Second Esdras. Let's go to Second Esdras real quick. Chapter 15, verse 15. I want to get right to the points. Second Esdras 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. And pretty much speaking about, the governments, the president, the governments, whatever type of laws they come out with. You're going to have these Edomites, because it's mainly these Edomites that are ready to start this civil war to go up against the government. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, y'all are pretty much a joke. They're too busy worried about trying to celebrate these punk ass holidays and trying to live it up in Babylon. But the mindset of these Edomites is we got to take our country back, make America great again. Okay, they're ready to pull out all the stops, because ultimately, spiritually, Esau knows that this is his last ride, man, and he's ready to go out with a bang. Okay, But it says they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their power, Salakia, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they're ready to take matters into their own hands. You see? Now, when you go into this word sedition, Salakia. Look what it says. Rebellion, uprising, revolt, factitious, commotion in the state, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority. So they're ready to overthrow the powers that be, the authorities, man, the government. Violent strife between factions, civil or religious disorder, riot, rebelliousness against authority. So they're ready to go up against the government. Okay. Civil disorder, dissension, strife, rebellion, mutiny, literally a going apart, separation. And the Lord ultimately is dividing this place up because he's getting ready to take it down. Real quick. Matthew 12:26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So the Lord is ultimately using one of Esau's favorite tactics. Esau loves to use his divide and conquer tactic to take down nations. He did it with us, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. He does it with these other nations, right? And ultimately the Lord is doing it to him. Okay, because if you look at America, if you look at Babylon the Great, these devils are divided amongst themselves, right? Through politics, okay, so on and so forth, man. Conservative, you got the conservatives and the liberals or whatever, okay? Left wing, right wing, or whatever you want to call it. So the Lord's got these devils divided because ultimately Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is getting ready to conquer Esau, Edom. He's getting ready to conquer these heathen. So the Lord is using a divide and conquer method. Because if they're divided against themselves, how is it that Babylon is going to stand, man? Okay. So the Lord is the ultimate strategist. When you go to what? The Lord is the ultimate war strategist. When you go to Exodus 15:3, what does it say about the Lord? The Lord Yahweh is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name. So the Lord is the ultimate strategist when it comes to war. Okay. So the Lord is getting ready to take this place out. These devils are divided amongst themselves. Going back into the article, buildings on River Road, just south of the Roosevelt Island Bridge and tram, were experiencing power outages. Okay, and you saw in that movie, Leave the World Behind, they had a so-called cyber attack, power outages. So it's getting ready to go down, man. And guess what? The Lord did the same thing in ancient Egypt when he plagued the ancient Egyptians with darkness. So you can read about that in Wisdom of Solomon, the 17th chapter. So the Lord is going to do it again in this new spiritual Egypt, America, Babylon the Great, spiritual Sodom and Egypt. The fire department said the scene has been turned over to power company Con Edison. No injuries have been reported, the department said. So ultimately, the Lord is setting the stage, man, for 2024. New York City residents have been told to expect road closures and disruptions near Roosevelt Island on Tuesday. Expect road closures, mass transit disruptions, and emergency personnel near Roosevelt Island. Use alternate routes, so on and so forth, man. All right, that's pretty much the point on that. Now I want to go into this next article. Okay, let's see if we can pull that up. I got another article, right? Let's close that out. It says cops recover suicide note after deranged man drove car packed with explosives into crowd at Rochester concert, killing 2. And at first they were saying this could possibly be a terrorist attack. But then, as I read in the article, I believe this is the same article, they're going to say that they ruled a terrorist attack. They ruled that out. But the whole point is them putting the word terrorist attack out in the media to put ultimately what's going on. A war upon the minds of the people, man, upon the masses, man. Okay, Esau is playing mind games with you people, right? A couple was killed and numerous other people injured just hours into the new year when a deranged man driving a car filled with explosives barreled into a crowd leaving a rock concert in upstate New York, police said. And this is just going to come down. This is just going to make Esau come down with more draconian laws, draconian measures. Okay. More lockdowns, more, control. It says law enforcement sources initially, Salaki, man, what the hell? It says law enforcement sources initially reported that the crash was being investigated as possible domestic terrorism. You see that? But said Tuesday there was no terror link. But the whole point Esau is doing is he's putting that word domestic terrorism out there. I guarantee that's going to be one of the main focuses of 2024, domestic terrorism, because ultimately Esau want to deem us, the prophets, as domestic terrorists. They want to link us with Hamas. They want to link us with these Islamic terrorists, so on and so forth, man. So it's going down, right? 2024 about to be a heavy year. So we got to pray to Yahweh Shem Al Shai that he keeps us protected and that we're in good graces with the Lord because, hey, it's about to go down. It's going down right now before our very eyes, man. And, hey, call Lord Yahweh Shem Al Shai. We're one step closer to getting up out of here. It says the fiery crash occurred at 12:50 a.m. outside the Kodak Center in Rochester, where roughly 1,000 people were filing out after a New Year's Eve show by the rock band Mo. You got these idiots that were participating and celebrating in, the so-called New Year's Eve events and festivities, not knowing the times that we're in, man. This ain't the time to be partying. This ain't the time to be bullshitting. Okay? What's that? Romans 13 and 11. You got to know the times that you're in, man. Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. So this ain't the time to be celebrating some goddamn New Year's Eve and New Year's, man. Okay? This is the time to be getting closer and closer to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I'm speaking to you Israelites. You so-called Negroes, you so-called Latinos, you so-called Native Americans, you so-called Hispanics, and you Israelite foreigners, okay, who resonate with this truth, who's hearing this word and is sticking with them, man, okay. Rochester officers, Salakia, man, the fuck, man. It says Rochester officers were helping pedestrians cross the street when Michael Avery, a suspected bipolar man from Syracuse, sped his rented Ford Expedition toward the crowd and smashed into an Uber pulling out of a nearby parking lot. Law enforcement sources said the force of the collision caused the two vehicles to go through a group of pedestrians that were in the crosswalk and then into two other vehicles, Police Chief David Smith said at a press conference. And this is the guy that they're saying is a suspect. Let's keep going. Yeah, and actually, when you go and look at the video, the cars were in flames. It says Rochester officers were helping pedestrians cross the street when Avery, suspected, I already read that. It says the cars exploded into an intense blaze that took the fire department nearly an hour to extinguish. So nobody survived that, man. If it took them that long and they pretty much burned up. It says a couple riding in the Uber were killed while their driver was rushed to the hospital. Okay, so I guess he didn't die. In non-life-threatening conditions, sources and police said. So this is just judgment of the Lord, man. 3 pedestrians were struck by the flying cars, one of whom was left clinging to life. You see? And that's the car. So, yeah, man, the Lord is working. So it says Avery was transported to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. He died of his injuries around 8 p.m. Monday, law enforcement sources told the Post. After the fire was extinguished, investigators found at least a dozen gasoline canisters scattered across the pavement and inside the expedition, according to Smith. And who knows, man, this could have been MK Ultra, right? This could have been a sleeper cell. Hey, look, all we know is Esau is up to something, right? And ultimately, it's the Lord that's in the works, man. The Lord is working. Avery, believed to have an emotionally disturbed person, had rented a hotel room in Rochester where police conducted a search and recovered a suicide note. And that's the thing. That's how you know Esau's all over this, man. They always talking about every time something like this goes down, a false flag, they always say, oh, they left a suicide note. They left I forgot the actual other word that they say. They left man, it's right on the tip of my tongue, man. I can't even think of it. Some type of a manifesto, right? They'll say, oh, where they left a manifesto. They left a suicide note. You know, that's how you know. Look, Esau is a one-trick pony. What is that? Is it First Corinthians, Thessalonians? No, it's Second Thessalonians. No, Salakia, man, bear with me. I think it's First Thessalonians 2:11. All right, I'm gonna just type it in. I must have skipped over it. I thought I went to it. Second Corinthians, Salakia, not Thessalonians. That's my bad. Salakia. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we understand when Esau has his hands all over something, man. When you go into this word devices, what does it go into? It goes into a wicked plot. You see? The word is Noama, a mental perception of thought and evil purpose. That's that which thinks the mind, thoughts, or purposes. So we're privy to Esau's wicked ass plots and his thoughts, man. And we know when this devil has his hands all over something, man. You know. And you know that's y'all can go and finish the rest. That's pretty much it on that. Okay, the Lord is setting the stage, man. I got one more article. You can't forget about this earthquake that took place in Japan. And this was like as soon as 2024 came in. Look at that. You can see the look how the Lord is shaking Japan up. You can see that video. It was caught on camera. Okay, you can see the violent earthquake. You see the cracks in the ground. Fires. Okay, it says Japan earthquakes. Death toll climbs to at least 48, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be more and more as tremblers continue rocking countries west. A series of powerful earthquakes, and I saw another video, which I can't find it, but they were saying that it was multiple earthquakes in Japan and other areas as well. You know, so that's the scriptures, which I'm going to grab it. A series of powerful earthquakes hit western Japan, leaving at least 48 people dead and damaging thousands of buildings, vehicles, and boats, with officials warning people in some areas on Tuesday to stay away from their homes because of a risk of more strong quakes. Aftershocks continue to shake Ishikawa prefecture and nearby areas a day after a magnitude 7.6 tremor slammed the area on Monday afternoon. 48 people were confirmed dead in Ishikawa, with the casualties concentrated in the cities of Wajima and Suzu, according to Japan's state broadcaster NHK and other media outlets. At least 14 others were said by officials to have been seriously injured, while damage to homes was so great that it could not immediately be accessed. Japanese media reports said tens of thousands of homes were destroyed. Government spokesperson Yoshimasa Hayashi said 17 people were seriously injured and gave a slightly lower death tally, while saying he was aware of the prefecture's tally. Right, you can see the images. Water, power, and cell phone services were still down in some areas, and residents expressed sorrow about their destroyed homes and uncertain future. So the Lord is jacking this place up, man. Right? It's not just that it's a mess. The wall has collapsed, and you can see through the next room I don't think we can live here anymore. So, somebody talking about that house. So, yeah, we see what's going on, man. Y'all can go and finish reading that. Like I said, I just want to, push that out there, man. Drive it home that the Lord is not playing around, man. Soon as 2024 hit. Now I want to grab this. Let's go to Matthew 24 and 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Yeah, civil wars, civil unrest. These nations gearing up to go against each other. These different countries, right? And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So 2024, the beginning of sorrows, man. And it's going to get worse and worse. 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. All hell is getting ready to break loose. You see, all you scoffers, everybody that came up against the prophets, the Lord is about to make y'all eat y'all words, man. Okay. Ezekiel, what is that? 12 and 20. And the word of the Lord, Ezekiel 12 and 21, and the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that you have in the land of Israel, saying the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? Tell them, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. Okay? So the Lord is speaking, man. So all you scoffers is getting ready to be confounded. But I just wanted to go into that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. 2024 is in full effect. All right. And until next time, Shalom.